reach your 50,000 to 100,000 monthly sales, what would you say if you had to pin it down to three? What would you say is your three most important systems or methods that you have or have had in place to reach those milestones?
So it's really changed over time. My business looks totally different from when I first started. It was mostly like apparel. I never really did any shoes, but
Mhm.
now I don't even think like 2% of it's apparel. It's just
Wow.
all over the place. We're always looking for, or I am rather, to like, I think I kind of found the category that I kind of think I want to build out the most. Like,
Yep.
it just makes the most sense. Still like testing it out. But for me, it's sourcing every day. So
Okay.
I personally source every day
Mhm.
for at least like 2 or 3 hours.
Mhm.
It just really depends on like what's going on, like whether it's Keepa or it's sales or it's I don't know, whatever. So that's one.
Mhm.
Two, I pretty much do make it. I try to send someone else a lead every day.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I share mainly with one other person right now, but
Mhm.
I'm still like trying to send like someone else just as like it has to be someone like I trust and know.
Mhm.
Because I've definitely been on the other end where you send it and then your store gets like ransacked. And that's just never a good situation to be in.
Right, right.
Because once they have your store forever. Um, so I do that, and then I think three. I don't know. I think just, I don't know. You just gotta go. I think that searching every day is just like the key
Mhm.
and kind of knowing. Everyone talks about like knowing like a certain category. And while I think that's great, I think it's even more valuable to know how to search a store. So,
Yeah,
like, if you
okay.
know the stores, like, for example, like, let's just take Walmart, right? It's
Mhm.
like, if you know, that might be a bad example because they're not running like crazy promo codes and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
if you know, like, that they're going to run a 20% off sale on electronics in this month, and then it's going to be 20% clothing like next month. Like as soon as you know that predictability, you know
Mhm.
Walmart doesn't cancel. They're not going to like order like pretty much limit you on what you can order. Like it's
Right.
going to be pretty smooth sailing. Like that's a good store to like know how to source and
Mhm.
like if you can master like 3 or 4 different categories. Now,
Mhm.
if you lose that store, like that could be devastating. Like when I
Yeah.
lost Kohl's, it was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But if I at this point probably have like 4 or 5 of those stores that I could kind of like rotate through.
Mhm.
It just makes it like that much easier once you just kind of know the pattern. So I think
Mhm.
it's really learning like websites and kind of these sales patterns.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, and you kind of learn these stores without even realizing it, and it gets to a point where some stores that when I know that they have like big 20% off, 30% off times during the month, even if I see a good deal on that side, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because I know when they're gonna have that sale. I think that kind of gives you the competitive edge in someone else because they probably went ahead and bought it during that sale, but you're gonna get it for a cheaper price because you're gonna wait for that sale on top of their monthly sale. And I think
Exactly.
that comes with time. That comes with just sourcing, like you said, every single day and seeing prices on websites versus when you see them on their sale day, and also getting on the email list. They'll send you all those
Yeah.
information and
Yeah,
uh,
there's nothing worse going deep on something and then like next week it goes on sale. You're
yeah. I think your
like this is
cold.
such a bad situation because like you already bought enough like where doesn't make sense to buy more, and you're
Yeah,
like this price is definitely going down because people are getting it like 20% cheaper now.
right. I was gonna say your Kohl's is kind of like my Hibbit too. Like I was when I first started, I was buying a
Oh, if it
lot
was
from
so
Hibbit.
good. Oh my
Hibbit
god.
was great, and then they just I don't know they banned me, and they let me appeal it too, and I try to give them like just this sob story, like what they tell me to do. Boom, denied. Still, I was like, God dang.
Yeah,
Uh,
they had like that with like cold on steroids.
yes. So Kohl's, did they pull your Kohl's cash and everything? Did you have a lot of Kohl's cash?
Yeah, like I think there was like 1,500 bucks worth.
Have you tried making another account that is ban your billing address?
I think I had like 2 accounts initially. Like I
Uh,
must have bought something there like who knows, like before this even started. And
uh,
then when I opened another, I guess when I started reselling, I use like the email address I've been using for like the business or whatever, like just a Gmail. And
Uh-huh.
I used that account, and then recently I was just like, oh, I wonder if that other account works. I've only placed like one order. It went through, but I don't really sell that much apparel anymore, so
Gotcha.
it's kind
Gotcha.
of like one of those things. It was like a blessing in disguise for
Right.
me because it's like I just don't like the apparel
Yeah.
kind of space.
I hear you. No, no, I was gonna say that too. It was a blessing in disguise for me as well because I got banned on Hibbett and Nike and Champs. Like I said, I
Damn.
was really comfortable with shoes, so I came in. I was just buying all these like shoes that were just sitting that I already knew about that were selling for like at least 30% ROI, and they were like these hype shoes. But I kept buying so much that they kind of banned my billing address. Like I would make another account, still banned because it was my billing address, and I couldn't, I couldn't change my. I could like back in the day, I would just change the address number to like
Yeah.
same street, but make another apartment number, but still ship to my house. But I couldn't do that now with Amazon because the billing address has to match exactly. And
Yeah.
all that. So, anyways, so I'm glad we share that kind of same band kind of story.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
speaking
it's always hard too, because like I think like a lot of people don't realize that it's like, oh well, like just switch categories. It's like, well, yeah, I just spent like the last year and a half like basically mastering this, and then like you got to do the whole thing all over again.
right.
Like I don't know like anything about beauty or health and how
Yeah.
like you just have to relearn everything.
You have to leave, what's nice is I guess no matter what category you have to start like restart in, you get automatically ungated for a lot of these categories.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely
that's nice at least. Um, because I realized that when I got banned pretty much on apparel, I jumped over to beauty and stuff like that and health and households, and I found that I was getting unbanned or not unbanned, ungated, just automatic approval. So that helps a little bit. But I agree with you. It was a blessing in disguise for me as well. Um,